All right. It is Friday, January 23rd, 2026.
And today we are talking about an asset that is worth, billions of dollars.
Millions.
Yeah.
But it's also more volatile than crypto ever was.
We're talking about celebrity.
Specifically, the architecture of celebrity. We think of fame as, this magical thing.
A lightning strike.
Exactly. But the sources we have today suggest it's not magic at all. It's engineering.
It's a structure. And like any structure, if the foundation is weak or if you try to change it without a plan, the whole thing can just collapse.
And we have a fascinating stat to look at this. First, a huge academic analysis of Taylor Swift's career.
Yeah, it's basically a master's thesis on how she built her persona.
Then we have a new paper on the actual science of crisis communication.
Literally the playbook for what to do when your reputation is on fire.
And to see what happens when it all goes wrong, we're looking at Chris Pratt, the worst Chris debate, The Forums, his new movie that just dropped today.
And we have to start with the news because the whole industry feels like it's on shaky ground this week.
It really does. It feels like the tectonic plates are shifting.
For sure. You look at the AP roundup for this week, and it feels like we're losing the 20th century in real time.
We are. The giants are passing.
Right. Take high culture. The fashion world is mourning Valentino Garavani,
He is.
93 years old.
The images from Rome, him lying in state near the Spanish Steps. It's the end of a certain kind of elegance.
And on the other end of the spectrum, comedy. Mel Brooks.
The new HBO doc, yeah. The 99-year-old man.
99.
Judd Apatow directed it. And the reviews all call it a big-hearted tribute, but you read them and it feels like a goodbye.
It's a look back at a type of humor that just doesn't really exist anymore.
But the biggest shift, I think, is Sundance.
Oh, absolutely.
The festival just started. It's the first one since Robert Redford died.
And it's the last one in Park City.
Moving to Boulder next year. That's breaking a 40-year tradition. It feels like the old institutions are being, uprooted.
And even the ones that are staying put are fighting for their lives. Did you see what's happening at the Met Opera?
The Carmen disaster.
Total disaster. The director, Carrie Cracknell, had this vision, modern American town, a Jaguar on stage, moving pickup trucks.
A real spectacle.
But the money just wasn't there. So they had to cut the Jaguar, replace the moving trucks with one stationary truck and a motorcycle.
And the set designer demanded his name be taken off the program.
It's just a perfect snapshot of the moment, artistic vision hitting a wall of financial reality.
Which is why the things that are working are so loud.
You're talking about the Dior menswear show.
The spiky neon yellow wigs.
Exactly. It's aggressive. It has to be. In today's media world, you either have the legacy of a Valentino or you have the neon wig. There's no in between.
Which brings us to the one person who seems to be immune to all of it.
Right. The Songwriters Hall of Fame inductees were announced.
Kenny Loggins, members of KISS.
And Taylor Swift.
And that's our pivot. Because if you want to understand how to survive for 2 decades, how to bridge that gap from the old guard to the neon wig era, you have to study the Swift model.
This thesis we found, Celebrity, Music, and Public Persona, it's incredible because it just strips all the magic away. It calls what she does dramaturgical performance.
Okay, break that down.
It's a term from sociology, from Irving Goffman. The idea is that a celebrity isn't really a person in the public eye. They're a collection of codes.
What kind of codes?
Well, there are biographical codes, your life story. There are sociostructural codes, your status, your power, and then aesthetic codes, your look, your sound. The thesis argues Swift consciously built all of these using 10 specific themes in her interviews.
The one that really stood out to me was strategic vulnerability.
That's the engine of the whole thing. Think about it. Old school celebrities were distant, mysterious. Swift does the exact opposite.
Her songs are like a diary.
Precisely. The paper calls it a posture of alignment.
Alignment with her fans.
Yes. You listen to a song like All Too Well and you feel like you're getting her secret thoughts. It creates that parasocial bond. But here's the genius part.
What's that?
While she creates a posture of alignment with you, the fan, she creates a posture of misalignment with the media.
Ah, so it becomes us versus them.
Exactly. The media is lying about me, but I'm telling you the truth in this song. It builds that fortress around her and her fan base.
And the paper shows how that narrative evolved. She couldn't stay the naive girl with the guitar forever.
No, of course not. Early on, it was all humility. I can't believe this is happening, and I'm just so blissfully unaware.
Which is, let's be honest, a total performance.
Well, of course it is. But she had to play that role. If she'd come out of the gate as a business mastermind, she would have been rejected.
Right.
But once she had that loyal base, the persona shifted. Late career Swift is all about business. She's talking about the gendered understructure of the music industry.
The double standards.
Right. In songs like The Man and Mad Woman, she's saying, when a guy writes about his ex, he's a genius. When I do it, I'm boy crazy.
She calls it out.
By calling it out, she neutralizes the attack before it can even land.
And the thesis pinpoints the Big Machine Records dispute as the moment everything crystallized.
Oh, that was the key. When they sold her masters without telling her, her re-recording all those albums wasn't just a smart business move, though it was brilliant financially.
It was a narrative move.
It was a power move. It was her telling the world, I am the architect of this is my story, and I own it.
She even turns their attacks into hits, like Blank Space. The media said she was a crazy serial dater.
So she wrote a song playing a crazy serial dater and made millions. It's like rhetorical judo. You use their force against them. So Swift is the model for pre-crisis management.
But not everyone builds a fortress. Some people build a trap.
Which brings us to Chris Pratt.
This is such a fascinating contrast. Swift is in total control. Pratt.
Wow.
Well, he seems to be losing control of his story completely.
He's chasing it.
The sources here, mostly forum discussions, track this best Chris versus worst Chris thing. He went from being, the most lovable guy in the room to being the internet's favorite punching bag.
And it really comes down to a violation of what the audience thought was his authentic self. We fell in love with the funny, kind of chubby, humble guy.
And then he got shredded.
He got shredded. He got Guardians of the Galaxy. He got Jurassic World. And he tried to pivot to stoic action hero.
And the audience isn't buying it.
The audience senses a performance. It feels inauthentic. I saw a Reddit thread today about his new movie, Mercy.
The one that just came out.
Yeah, and the reviews are just okay. But the comments from users are brutal. They're saying he looks bored or unfocused.
Like he's wearing a costume that's 2 sizes too small.
It's not just the acting, though, is it? It's the whole personal brand.
The brand is broken. And it seems to stem from 3 specific things the internet just will not let go of. First, the Hillsong Church controversy.
The accusation that he belonged to an anti-LGBTQ church.
Right. And you can see him struggling to control this. In 2018, he's giving speeches about God at the MTV Awards. Now, in 2026, he's saying, I never went to Hillsong. I don't know anyone from that church. He's even started criticizing organized religion.
But it's too late. He waited too long to clarify, and the narrative's set in stone.
And then there was the Healthy Daughter Instagram post.
Oof. A complete PR disaster.
He posts this loving message to his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, thanking her for a gorgeous, healthy daughter.
And the internet immediately interpreted that as a slap in the face to his ex-wife, Anna Faris, because their son was born premature with health issues.
He said he cried about the backlash, that it wasn't what he meant. And honestly, it probably wasn't.
Probably not. But in crisis management, your intent doesn't matter. Only the perception matters.
So now there are petitions to recast him as Star-Lord, which Marvel won't do. James Gunn and his co-stars defended him. But that cloud just follows him everywhere.
He is deep in the recovery phase. And this is where that academic paper on crisis communication becomes so important. Because if you're on Pratt's PR team, you can't just guess your way out of this.
Right.
There's a science to it now. The paper talks about digital virality. A crisis used to unfold over 24 hours. Now, because of algorithms, you have what they call the golden hour.
We'd have to respond almost instantly.
If you don't, the negative narrative gets locked in. The algorithm decides you're the villain before you've even had your morning coffee.
So what's the playbook? The paper talks about the anatomy of an apology.
And this is where almost everyone gets it wrong. They issue a non-apology.
The classic, I'm sorry if you were offended.
Which is the worst thing you can do. It's defensive. A real, scientifically effective apology has 3 parts. 1, acknowledge what you did. 2, show genuine remorse. And 3, the part everyone forgets.
Corrective action.
You have to do something to fix it. Donate money, get educated, show that you've changed. And the paper says the medium is critical.
Video is better than a written statement.
Way better. Because of visual cues. We're wired to look for sincerity in someone's face. A tweet just feels cold, like a lawyer wrote it.
The paper also brings up influencer advocacy.
Which is exactly what we saw with Pratt. You had Robert Downey Jr. and Zoe Saldana publicly defending him. That's a strategy. You borrow their credibility to patch the holes in your own.
But the craziest part of this research isn't the psychology, it's the technology.
This is where it gets into sci-fi territory. Publicists are now using AI.
They're using sentiment analysis. Explain that.
It's an AI that scrapes social media in real time. It's not about guessing if the public is mad. They have a literal dashboard that shows them. The public is 78% angry. The anger is centered in these demographics, and it's being driven by these specific keywords
So they can see the hurricane forming offshore.
before it makes landfall. And then there's predictive analytics.
This blew my mind. They can predict a scandal before it even happens.
That's the goal. An AI scans a draft of a tweet or a movie script and flags potential problems based on historical data. It could say, warning, there is an 82% chance this joke will be perceived as insensitive.
It's a spell checker for getting canceled.
That's exactly what it is. An AI would have flagged that healthy daughter post in a second.
Wow.
And now there's deepfake detection. A crisis team's first job isn't how do we respond, it's is this video of our client even real?
This sounds less like public relations and more like risk management for a bank.
Because that's what it is. Taylor Swift isn't a singer, she's a multinational corporation. Chris Pratt isn't just an actor, he's a franchise asset. They're volatile stocks that have to be managed.
So to tie it all together, the architecture of fame. Swift built her fortress from the ground up. She anticipated the attacks and built defenses.
She knew from day one that the persona was a performance, and she decided to be her own director.
And Pratt is trying to renovate his building during an earthquake. He's trying to make the Funny Guy Foundation support an action star skyscraper, and the cracks are showing everywhere.
And the lesson for anyone listening is that you can no longer be a passive observer of your own reputation. If you don't define your persona, the algorithm will define it for you.
And the algorithm almost always prefers a villain.
Outrage drives engagement. Absolutely.
That's a pretty dark thought, but I have one that might be even darker for you to leave with.
Go for it.
Okay, so we're talking about all this tech. AI, sentiment analysis, predictive analytics. We mentioned Chris Pratt's new movie, Mercy, features an AI judge.
Right.
So if the human element, the messy, emotional human who makes typos and gets divorced, is the biggest liability for the billion-dollar celebrity asset,
I see where this is going.
are we moving toward a future where the celebrity persona is just entirely synthetic?
It is the logical conclusion. Think about it. An AI celebrity never gets old. An AI celebrity never sends a drunk tweet. An AI can be perfectly optimized to have that posture of alignment with every single demographic at the same time.
It could be vulnerable for the teens and a stoic hero for their dads.
All at once. It could be everything to everyone with zero risk.
So the ultimate form of crisis management is to remove the human from the equation.
If you want a mask that never, ever slips, maybe you make sure there's no face behind it at all. The most stable architecture of fame might just be a hologram.
On that note, thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
And maybe let an AI proofread your tweets.
See you anytime.